Good day to all. This is our second topic for operations auditing, and this is a review of business processes. And then we will just have also a review of information systems. So you can go back also with accounting information systems and management information systems as sort of interconnected or intertwined topics for this particular topic or lesson. So to begin with, here are questions by which we can be guided as to what specific items or purposes that we should know in the chapter. So the objectives here are in question format or formats which are okay or fine. Number one is that we have to discuss the major types of systems in a business and the roles that they play. Second is how do information systems support the major business functions? It's very important because we should know that whether we like it or not, if we are in the operations and we talk about business processes, still information flows from top to bottom, bottom up, whether linear or irregular or any other patterns, and then the interchange or interlink of information from one organization to another, one department to another, and person to person. Next is we should know the reasons. So the reasons why managers pay attention to business processes. Then discuss the benefits and challenges of using enterprise systems. We now think of the overall corporate system or umbrella. Actually, for every functional department like purchasing, finance, accounting, production, and all other else, so research and development and other departments, there are systems for each, human resources also for personnel. Then if we now combine all these systems, such would become the enterprise systems. Next is discuss the benefits of using the enterprise system to support SCM. So there will be a review now of supply chain management and collaborative commerce, or doing business online with collaboration of different businesses. Next is discuss the benefits of using information systems or IS for CRM, customer relationship management, and KM or knowledge management. All right, let's begin. So we should know these terms: integration and enlarging scope of management thinking. The former is that we are going to deal with systems as they serve a variety of functions, meaning to say these systems actually are embedded or integrated or incorporated in doing the business functions. Then connecting organizational levels, that's true, but it is difficult, and integration could be costly. Although costly in the short term, but in the long run, the benefits would be greater than the costs. Cost benefit approach in business. Next, enlarging scope of management thinking. The latter would talk about huge system investments. Yes, that's true. So we'll have to outlay more, or we'll have to invest more in the short term. But then again, in the long run, expect savings to be greater. Long development time must be guided by common objectives. So what we are doing in our respective departments should achieve the common goal of the business, that is goal congruence. Next, for the types of information systems, so we have here the different levels, the functional areas per department, and the groups actually that are served. So if you can notice, let's begin with the kind of information system. It starts from the operational level, so day-to-day business. And then we have the operational managers doing such. So managers will, of course, be supervising the works of the rank and file employees at the bottom. So they constitute operational level. Next, for the knowledge level, we have the knowledge and data workers. So these are now the people who are so-called knowledge engineers who are in their respective jobs because they will be gathering information or data, and they will be making sense of such to further the objectives or goals of the business. Then we have the management level, in which the group served are the middle managers. And then for the strategic level or the long term, having the long term perspective, the vision and mission in mind, so we have the senior managers. So we have the kind vis-a-vis the group served. At the bottom, we have the functional areas. As said a while ago, there are various functional departments in the organization. This could include even research and development, and then manufacturing, also known as production, human resources, also known as personnel. We also have purchasing. We also have logistics for some businesses. They're going to separate that. Very important also the information technology department, formerly known as information systems, also known as electronic data processing. So those terms are very important. Then we also have credit department, especially for those businesses in which they grant loans like banks and many more. So there are functional areas involved for every department. Now, what are these business processes that we are going to talk about? So we have these processes would talk with the manner in which work is organized, coordinated, and focused to produce a valuable product or service. We're talking here about the procedures, the steps, the conventions, the frameworks, and all. Then work will be organized, managed properly. Then they will be working hand in hand, focused, streamlined, ironed out with the respective issues. The main purpose or objective is so that we'll be able to produce a valuable product or service for our customers. So there should be value attached for whatever we do. Then we have the concrete work, flows of material. Bottom line, the customers should be getting values depending on what they want on the product or what they need. Then concrete workflows of material, information, and knowledge. These are the sets of activities that would constitute the business process. Whether it's just the trivial or complex or complicated business processes, of course, raw materials will be needed, the information, and knowledge as well. Then there are unique ways to coordinate work, information, and knowledge as the business processes. These business processes would be unique from every organization to another. Then this would also talk about the ways in which management chooses to coordinate the work. If you can notice, if we go back one slide, so we are talking about the same thing, and these are the business processes. Next, information systems help organizations to achieve great efficiencies by automating parts of processes. As we all know, efficiency means being able to achieve the goals and objectives of the organization by the least amount of resources involved. So if we talk about raw materials or time, then that's efficiency. So just utilizing the least amount of resources, then we can achieve the goals and objectives of the organization. Specifically here, we can also achieve further great efficiencies if we automate parts of the processes. Then we can rethink and streamline processes. So we think about of these items, again, the processes, if they can be improved further, or they can be modified or developed or changed if ever they're no longer working, and they can be ironed out and streamlined with certain issues. Next, these are now our examples of business processes, but if you can recall, these are also our functional departments. That's true because for every functional department, there is really a specific business process attached to that. So we have here the manufacturing and production, and this talks about assembling products or products. So we create the product, we check the quality, then we produce also the bills of materials, meaning the list of all raw materials, including indirect materials, which will be part of factory overhead under cost accounting, so that we can finish the product. Then sales and marketing, we'll be talking about identifying customers. So we should know who our customers are. Then we create also customer awareness, meaning to say we create or we target for the needs of our customers. Then we sell our products. Marketing here is very important because before we create products, we should target the needs of our customers. Then finance and accounting, this will talk about money and keeping records. We pay our creditors, we create financial statements, and of course, very important that we manage our cash balances or accounts. Next, for human resources or personnel, the business processes for the functional department would be hiring employees, recruitment now, evaluating the performances of such, enrolling employees in benefits plans or the benefit plans. This is very important also because we have to make sure that our employees have their benefits involved. Hopefully, you realize at this point in time that these are the functional departments and under of which we have the different business processes. Then these are the cross-functional business processes, meaning to say they actually involve two or more different functional departments. They transcend boundaries between sales, marketing, manufacturing, and research and development. So what I've said, they would involve two or more functional departments. Then the employees would now be working in groups and they are coming from different functional specialties to a complete piece of work. Example of that is the order fulfillment business process. So you can see it here that the three functional departments involved are sales, accounting, manufacturing, and production. So for the sales, we begin with, of course, first coming from order of customers. Then we check our supplies, we deliver if ever our supplies are there to our intended customers. Customers will accept the products, and then that's the time that we can have sales. So generate order, submit the order. Accounting, if ever the sale has already been made, we check credit, then approve credit. So it's very important that we follow the five C's of credit, although that's changed now with so many C's, but hopefully you have had good times in basic finance about what these five C's are. So those are the basis for the approval of credit. And then before we assemble the product for manufacturing and production. So accounting later on after the sale, of course, because the product have been assembled and shipped. So accounting would also generate invoice. So overall, these three functional departments are involved in the order fulfillment process. So if we think of this particular business process as a whole, then these three functional departments are being combined in such business process. Although if we are going to dissect or separate the three business process, so that's also going to be okay. So we can even have this particular business process as the order process or the order filing process. Then the second one would be for check credit and approve credit. So we have here the credit approval. Then this one would be assembly and shipment of product, and another process for accounting for the invoice generation process. So we have like four separate business processes under the overall order fulfillment process. All right. So this ends our part one. Thank you very much for listening. Hope to see you in the next part of business processes and information systems. Thank you.